Let me ask you, is this typical for you to work on a Saturday?
Yeah, it's very quiet.
Well, I am looking very much forward to this conversation, to this interview. And just to start, I want to read you a very small quote about your work by your famous student, Eduardo Soto de Mora. He said that Siza's houses are just like cats sleeping in the sun. What do you think he meant?
What he had in mind.
That's what he said. Your houses are just like cats sleeping in the sun.
Yes, I think you want to mention how natural was the architecture, and also reference probably to the body, human body, but also the cat, in this case, in development of an architecture.
And also probably the fact that your buildings take, the most natural posture, right,
yes.
in the site.
Yes. Yes.
Very interesting. The purpose of this and other interviews that I take is to kind of try to step into the architect's very special and private world and mind. Do you give interviews often, and do you think it is important or even possible for an architect to explain his or her work and process in conversations?
I think so. Maybe in a wrong way. But
So it could be confusing.
He has an idea of what he did, so he can explain. When I make a lecture, when I'm asked to make a lecture, and the thing is to work, to show work to a school. So I always choose one building only, because I like to explain how it came, it developed, what are the reasons, the stimulus for that, and so, and explain fully what is this building.
I have seen a number of your projects in Portugal and in Spain, and just yesterday I went to see your Ristorante Boa Nova here in Porto, and which is a kind of project that is, I would say, impossible to understand through photographs. It is not about an image, but something else, which does not translate into pictures. What do you think that is?
A representation of architecture.
Any architecture.
No photos can give the real atmosphere. When you visit, you have a better sensation that when it is represented, even if it is represented well by very good photographs. And so, the impression, I remember visiting Frank Lloyd Wright, first time.
Which one?
Falling Water.
Okay.
The big surprise. First, the density of the atmosphere in the house is all right. It's as you feel the air inside the building. Then items as the scale. With photos I had the impression it was a bigger house, and it's not so big, the house and scale.
And you see your work as a continuation of local traditions, right?
Also as a continuation of local tradition, but all the traditions have behind interchange, or they die. And there are many examples. If culture is taken in isolation, collapses. So tradition does not mean closing. On the contrary, tradition comes from successive interchanges, which in Portugal is so clear, as Portuguese culture was very soon influenced by other cultures, India, Japan, America, and so on. So what I think is that many times there come interpretations of regional, critical regionalism as the local, the parochial, and so, and it is not. On the other hand, is a fact that Frampton put up attention to different cultures. There is a critic that came much for the global knowledge of, in this case, architecture, was Frampton, about the architecture in North Europe, about architecture, contemporary architecture in Greece, and then many other countries, cultures that were in a moment outside the attention, the knowledge even, with that idea that is gone, I think.
Can we talk about your place in Portugal and particularly here in Porto? It is very unusual that an architect has so much recognition, and I talk to different people here in Porto who have nothing to do with architecture, and they know your name and they know your work, and they told me that everybody knows you. And so
that is a very curious thing, because I have no work in Porto.
You graduated from the school and you built this wonderful campus. And Johanni Palasma said about this project that it is a powerful educational tool in its own right. Yesterday, I was at the students' review at the school, and they showed one of the projects that students are working on. It's based on the site, which is an empty site here in the city. And it's interesting that all of the students' work looked like your work. What do you think about that? So
I think that something is not going well
okay.
in the School of Architecture.
So you don't think this is right?
No, it's not good, because it means obsession.
Obsession, yes.
But it's not only that that is what you saw, what you visited, but in fact, happily, in the School of Architecture in Porto, there are different tendencies.
Okay.
But there is, in some areas of the school, attraction for my architecture that tends to be inevitably superficial, and it's not good.
Yeah.
When I was teaching in school, my students did not make copies of my things.
When you were teaching, what was your favorite assignment? How would you teach architecture?
What I can tell you that in a moment I asked to teach construction, because construction in school was considered a secondary thing. And I also, the mind was more or less professors not so good. would be canalized for construction. And I asked, I want to be in construction, because I thought it was missing teaching of construction.
You often say that nothing is invented. There is a past for everything.
Yes, I think so.
So you are not very interested in making something entirely new, right? Your work is based on what was done before.
No, it's impossible to make something entirely new.
Mm-hmm.
I know nothing entirely new. You see, let's look to Ville Savoie-Poissy.
Mm-hmm.
Sensation is entirely new.
Yes.
And it's clear that it was made with this idea of new man, a new town, new architecture, new society. And so, but if we look to Poissy, or when I looked, I thought Trois Terrasses. So everything you see, but coming back to Monchamp, horizontal windows, you can see everywhere. For instance, in the Maya constructions in South America, you can see these buildings that horizontal windows in stone. Pilotis, you go to Venezia and you see, I was there not much recently. The market of Venezia is on Pilotis, the old market. I mean, everything.
Open plan.
Everything that you open plan.
Yeah.
If I think I found open plan, yes, in the old ethnies in Africa, for instance, you have houses where there is only a roof and space and families, they're not separated by high wall. No, there is nothing new, really. Only the way to use and to combine can be new.
Yeah.
But not that it is completely new.
Your work is very sculptural. And you also design objects and chairs. Do you ever work as a pure sculptor?
Yeah, I'm still working.
So this is one of your sculptures, right?
This I
person.
am studying it to make big, not to make it to 20 in wood. For a sculpture, I'm doing now big one with 22 meters.
And what is it for? It's going to be.
Because I like.
You like it.
Yeah.
So are you?
Sometimes I made some exhibition of sculpture.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Milano, in Graz, in Austria, I remember in Madrid, in Porto, I made some exhibition because somebody asked me to.
I want to ask you about the process. Ken Frampton said, like Altos, all of Siza's buildings are delicately laid into the typography of their sites. His approach is patiently tactile and tectonic rather than visual and graphic. Even his smallest buildings are topographically structured. At the same time, you said, even before I have complete knowledge or good knowledge of every single problem, I begin sketching possible solutions with the little information that I have. I feel I need to begin immediately with an idea, although then it can be completely changed.
Yeah.
Could you talk about the process of drawing for you?
Yeah, even I don't work beginning by analyze deep. I analyze of what is the problem, what are the conditions of the site, previous things there, or even in detail the topography, or the program, because the way I am or I work, if I first study all these things, I'll be asphyxiated by them. It's so much information. So what I do is to get a first idea immediately, sometimes only without going to the site.
Even before?
Even before. Idea through films, photos, things that people told me, and so on. And then I begin, so many times the first sketches later are good for nothing. But it's the way to begin constructing, building an idea. And then I make a bombardment of these ideas, sketches, and so with gradual increasing of information about the real thing. I can tell, sometimes I do it to a collaborator to read well the program and then explain me while I am still in
a cloud,
in a small, and then the collaborator asks me, one of them tells me first relate what is the problem.